my god. So we are currently making, or we made or we're currently making a channel trailer for the FALA Upload. And Cassidy forced us to go back to when you were making stuff and like clip those videos and throw in the channel trailer for the FALA Upload.
That's so, because like I was at like an all-time low during that, because I was in like.
FALA, welcome to something a bit special. This was a show pitched, but it was rejected. But I have fought my way back, and now we're here. So welcome to Uploading, the behind-the-scenes podcast about the FALA Upload and the videos and quality content it creates for all of you guys. In this podcast, it is my goal to sit down with people who are or were part of the FALA Upload and just go through behind the scenes of videos, talk about just the channel in general, and just give you a further look into this thing. Because that was one of my main things when I applied here, is I was like, I want to figure out how they do this stuff so I can steal their setups for my own personal work. That's the main reason I joined this program. But anyways, our guest today has sparked nepotism throughout the FALA Upload over the years of his absence. We are joined today by Noah Bessler.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right, tell me a bit about yourself. What do you do? So
I graduated 2021, went to FALA since 8th grade, so I was here for a good 5 years. But ever since I graduated, I've just been hanging out in Washington.
Okay.
Bellingham to be specific, but yeah, I've just been up there, working, having a good time.
And you are taking a gap year, right?
Yeah.
But you were going to college?
I went up to Washington for college,
okay.
But after, a year and some change, I decided to take a gap year for
all right.
financial purposes, among others.
All right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What was your major?
Well, I went to a funny school where they don't even let you pick your major until like the first or second year. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so you just have to take like base credits for the first couple of years, get all of those out of the way, and then you can start working towards a major. And so I didn't even get to the point where I got to pick a major.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. So running it back a bit, so what grade did you join journalism?
I was there in the first year of journalism. I was Cassidy started talking about the idea of journalism as a class in 10th grade. Mm-hmm. Or in my 10th grade. He was talking about it a whole bunch, and in 11th grade it actually became a thing. Okay. And so that was my first year.
Okay. So then that's 2 years on, and were you on media production also?
Yes.
Okay.
I was there for both years that I could have been.
Okay. And so obviously media production is like a very video-based thing. Like it's like videos and podcasts and stuff. Did you have any prior experience before joining, or did you kind of just learn it all from Cassidy?
Learning it all from Cassidy is a funny way of putting things, but I mean, kind of. Like this is such a fun school where you can just make video projects for like science class. Yeah. So I did a little bit of that, and off the record, there were always dreams of being a little YouTuber, but
the feeling is mutual. The feeling is very mutual. I feel
like so many people have the dream of being a YouTuber, because it's not an achievable goal, but it seems so achievable.
Okay. Yeah, and like what kind of YouTuber? Were you like a Minecraft YouTuber, or were you like a vlogger?
That's so funny. No, I was
Or like what kind of content on YouTube did you watch that made you think, oh, maybe I would want to kind of do this?
I mean, it was mostly just like gaming, because I never had like, my mom was very strict when it came to video games.
Yeah. So
my only way of consuming video game content is through YouTube. Mm-hmm. So I saw that and I was like, if I could be a gamer and be a YouTuber, that'd be beautiful.
Yeah. I watched specifically Minecraft videos, and then I was like, this seems fun. I like Minecraft, and these guys are making hella money.
Yeah.
It's just like, how hard could it really be? No, and then so then you kind of found media. Who were the other like members when you were there?
So, first year, it was a very small group of people. It was me, Jonathan Clark, and Gabby Nielsen. And that was it.
That was it.
Yeah,
so
that was
it was just you guys and Cassidy making
Yeah.
videos, and that was like the first year.
Yes, that was the first year. Gabby Nielsen was really the only one who had like actual video editing experience. Jonathan was very similar to me, where he just wanted to be a YouTuber.
Okay.
But yeah, Gabby Nielsen was the executive producer because she wanted to go to school for film and she had those interests. So she kind of took charge.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then second year, what was the cast?
Second year, things got a little bit hectic because that was the year that COVID struck.
Mm-hmm.
So we were on Zoom for the first, 2/3 of the year. But, Gabby, Jonathan, and we put in enough work in the first year that, like, everyone, or I hope everyone saw the content that we put out and really wanted to join.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we had 12 or 13 people in media production that year. Yeah, no, it was a lot.
That is a lot of
I was the executive producer because I was the only like original member left over because Jonathan and Gabby both graduated that year. So it was just me, feeling very overwhelmed over Zoom.
Yeah.
Trying to.
And looking back at, I think it was called Quarantainment, right? Going back over that.
Oh no. Well, that even started. That started that first year where it was just Jonathan, Gabby, and I, because that's when COVID started.
Yeah.
But we did like a live thing over. Well, funny little tidbit. We didn't use Zoom. We used Google Meets, which was. I don't know why we did that, but we did. But we did that, and we would have special guests, and we would play Jackbox games, and we tried to do like Kahoot, but it didn't work very well because everyone our setup wasn't good enough to have anything other than a 20-second delay on the live stream. So
Okay, and then how much would you think you're like making kind of videos, like your skill in making video improved from joining media production versus beforehand, and did it improve, or like how was it during COVID as well? Because there are like some like tiny videos where it's kind of trying to just like do your at-home stuff and just videoing it yourself, and that's like a very interesting dynamic going from like kind of classroom, which is kind of like a studio thing, but then just going into your like kind of just own little space to try to make videos.
Well, that's. In order to kind of talk about that, we have to address my personal elephant in the room, which is the first video that I personally made on the YouTube channel, which was the first llama show, which like is up there for one of the things I'm most ashamed of. No, I mean, I was still learning how to make videos, and it was, my first attempt at actually making something. And so, it wasn't good. And, looking back on it, I can see how it was not good. But, no, I am really, because after, I objectively did a terrible job on the first llama show, then I was able to come back and learn from my mistakes, be like, okay, maybe taking this seriously is not the best approach, because that's what I tried to do for the first llama shows. I tried to do like a serious video about how teenagers use social media. Yeah, and so that was not good. So I learned that lesson quickly, that in order to make something kind of entertaining, it has to be a little bit silly.
Yeah.
And so from there, I was able to get a little silly with it.
So you made a video about teenagers using social media to put on social media.
Yeah.
For the teenagers.
Look, it was not my brightest idea, but...
Yeah. And then, yeah, that is a thing where it's like, I don't know. I always find that there's this really fine line when you're trying to make videos of like being serious and not being serious, because you kind of have to take it a little bit serious because it's a thing you're kind of making. You there's like passion that goes in serious, but at the same time, like you said, if you go way too overboard in that, you're just gonna overdo it.
You have to know like where you stand.
What's your kind of like video comedy thing, or like what kind of video stuff like did you make or do you watch that like brings out like the more like, oh, this isn't that serious but it's still like kind of quality, something you've made or something you've kind of watched?
Well, the direction I took the llama show after that was I was almost trying to be self-aware of how bad the llama show was. So I made a whole bunch of parodies of trying to fix the llama show, and that was essentially all the llama show was. So I would go around to different people trying to, trying to correct my mistakes. And so a lot of that came from, okay, how can we incorporate silly characters and stuff like that.
What was the editing process like back then for episodes?
So it for that, it kind of got split up into two parts. The like more serious FALA Update stuff that Gabby took charge on, and then my silly little llama show stuff. Because Gabby actually had, Adobe Premiere and could like, she knew what she was doing. Where I just, I was with iMovie and just trying to make my way through it.
No, iMovie's so fun.
I had Adobe Premiere for all of when I was the executive producer. I had Adobe Premiere, but for that first year, it was just iMovie, and then after that, I was like, okay, I guess I don't need Adobe Premiere anymore. And then I'm back to iMovie, and I've been using iMovie.
Yeah,
and, it works.
No, it's so interesting how like how I think it's really funny how costly editing stuff is nowadays.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, also just because there's so much free editing software that is just amazing.
Yeah.
iMovie, like everyone like got their start in it. It's still like not horrible. It's really good. You can still like run full clips in there, and I guess it also has the advantage of being like kind of the oldest thing, because that's what was like installed on the first like iMac that like came out, and it's like people like used to edit like weird short films on that and stuff. And then like nowadays we use like DaVinci Resolve.
Oh, I remember when Cassidy discovered DaVinci Resolve.
Oh.
He would not stop talking about it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's us.
Because he got so obsessed with like the color grading and all of the stuff that you could do with it. And he tried to convince us all to use it, but I was so stuck in my well, at that point I had just gotten Adobe Premiere, and I was like, okay, I just spent so much money. I'm not about to use the free one now.
So now, at least in photography, there's, or like in the film photography class, there's an Adobe Creative Cloud subscription, which is, it's every Adobe thing for $500 a year. Yeah. And it's like, don't do that. I mean, even with like, going back to DaVinci, there's a paid version, and it's a one-time thing of $200, and then you have the full thing for like the rest of your life. And it's such a better, it's, Premiere Pro is a scam. Don't use it. Adobe, I am coming after you one of these days. You guys have Photoshop and Lightroom, those are fine. I'm coming after you. No. Do you think that like, because obviously there's limitations on iMovie versus like Adobe Premiere. No,
but I like being able, or like having to work around the limitations.
That was my thing. My question was, do you think the limitations overall helped you become more skillful with making video?
Yes, because you have to figure out, okay, how can I make this scene work when I don't have any transitions?
Yeah, or like,
yeah,
how can where's the best? Ooh, this is something that's interesting, because this is kind of phased out this year just because of the live, but like the wonderful world of like copyright free music.
Oh yeah. No, I think, I'm trying to remember. I think I used the like stock iMovie copyright sound for the first llama show.
Those are so beautiful. I mean, there aren't that many, because again, there's like Epidemic Sound, which is like, ooh, copyright free stuff for $70 a month. Again, it's a scam. I'm coming after you. Know this. Because, like, YouTube does an audio library thing where it's a bunch of free stuff. And it's really high quality for, like, the way it is. And it's interesting how, like, that's kind of phased out this year. Just because we've been doing more live stuff like this. And I feel like that, I don't know, music's one of the more, like, comedic things that you can add to a video. And, like, not even in the music being comedic, but, like, even in, like, just the way that it's used in the video.
Yeah. No, one of my, like, I don't think anyone has ever laughed at this but me. But in our big, like, special for our first year, we did the first FALA Chopped.
Oh.
And I was editing it for some reason I was editing it. But I needed to figure out what to do for music, because it's like a 26-minute video, and I need to, you know, music is necessary for that. And so I didn't know the world of copyright-free music very well. So Gabby sent me, like, just a 4-second clip of a game show thing for, like, a different class, but it was just this looping sound over and over again. And I just put that through the entirety of the 26-minute video, the 4-second clip.
That's so... something interesting that I did when I first started making videos, because I went through an old USB drive, and apparently I've been trying to make professional videos for almost 10 years. I found videos in 23 of me as a baby with, like, this little tiny pine forest kid with a bowl cut being like, this is take one, and they're so good, and I need to pull them out. But I remember with me and my friend, what we would do is we would have someone recording on their phone, and then I had my Kindle next to the phone on max volume, and I would play the music into the microphone of the phone as it was playing.
No, I remember doing that this was for a science project, but I did narration, just speaking into the camera right next to it while they were filming the B-roll.
That's always the fun part also. Or even it's like, what's really fun is, like, I think I just went where I tried to film, like, a nature documentary, but doing the live narration, and then the animals, like, ran away, because it's just like, ooh, look at that bug, and then it's gone.
That's why David Attenborough talks the way he does, is he doesn't want to, like, you know, alert the animals that he's there.
Yeah. Dude, imagine if he was on location.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. He's just hiding in a bush.
He's just, like, hiding in the bush. And Madagascar Lima. And it just starts looking, like, what are you doing? Or, like, what would be really hilarious is, like, when Nature Trek does, like, their ocean stuff, and it's like a fish feeding frenzy with, like, sharks, and it's just, like, David Attenborough in, like, a diving suit next to just, like, this is a feeding frenzy. I want to see that happen. Yeah. I might try to make a parody of that. That sounds funny. And then, okay, what do you think when you were working with the FALA, what do you think your magnum opus was? Or, like, the best thing you created?
Okay.
It's hard because there's a lot of bad videos.
Hey!
I'm kidding.
No, fair. No, I think the what?
The Peppa Pig voiceover.
No, oh my god. So we are currently making, or we made or we're currently making a channel trailer for the FALA Upload.
Oh.
And Cassidy forced us to go back to when you were making stuff and, like, clip those videos to throw in the channel trailer for the FALA Upload.
That's so... Because, like, I was at, like, an all-time low during that. Because I was in COVID. I had nothing to do. And so I was like, okay, like, I guess, you know, I'm a member of this channel. I'm going to put stuff up there, no matter, like, what it was. So I did that. There's a video, yeah, there's just a bunch of videos of me doing random stuff. Like the stacking Egos video. That's a whole series.
That's, like, one of the biggest successes also for some reason.
I have no idea why, but...
Yeah.
Shout out that rivalry between me and Cassidy.
I was watching the rough cut of the channel trailer, and I hadn't seen any of these videos. Yeah. I just walk in, I just see Peppa Pig, and I audibly said some language that I cannot use on this podcast, and almost got kicked out of the classroom just because of my reaction to that when it was being edited. I think FALA Chop's in there also, and that's so confusing looking at the dishes that were created. But I feel like FALA Chop kind of morphed a bit into MasterChef.
Yeah.
And the way that works now. which is still like
Yeah.
a very ongoing thing, which is like a big success.
Yeah, no, I think FALA Chopped, like the original one that I did, is probably my magnum opus. Because it's like, I know humor is like subjective or whatever, but like it is the hardest I've laughed at something I've made.
Yeah.
Which, you know, that's what you want when you're making something, is something that you can enjoy and you can laugh at, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
In terms of like the best quality thing I made, the FALA Runway video is really good.
I don't think I've seen that. Tell me about it.
Okay. There's a lot of lore to this one.
All right.
So that first my 11th grade year of media production, it was just us three, and we were pretty much the only ones who had an interest in media production. Everyone else was on newspaper or yearbook, except for my good friend Kelly. Kelly was the only one who was willing to help us out. He was willing to help us film, and he was willing to be in the videos, and I will forever love him for that. But he became such a reoccurring character that he literally became an honorary member of media production. And so we would start to joke about giving him his own show. However, the joke was that he was also not very good at making shows. So every year every video he would try and come up with some big idea, and it would fail horrendously, and then he would just move on to the next idea because, you know, he was an honorary member of media production, so he needed a show. And the first attempt at that was FALA Chopped.
Yeah.
Where Kelly was like, okay, I have this big idea, Chopped. You know, just stealing another TV show. Yeah. And so that became kind of the idea, is we would just steal a TV show and then just parody it, but it just ends terribly. And that was Project Runway, is what we were parodying. So, you know, Kelly had a big idea of a fashion show. So we brought in a bunch of people, and you know, it went poorly. But, you know, the video is actually, we shot it in 4K for some reason.
That goes hard.
Audio wasn't bad. I feel really proud about the editing work I did on that one. It looked pretty good.
What's your opinion on like 4K video, recording it versus like 1080p? Just on like, okay, so I have a thing where it's like I filmed like a 4K video this summer where me and my friend, we went all over Flagstaff to find the best chicken quesadilla. And that's
what was the final result? What was the best one?
Burritos Fiesta.
Okay, yep.
No,
fair
but
enough.
but this is like for like my personal channel. But when we were doing that, it's like my editing software crashed 5 times because 4K video is so bad to like try to edit with. But then, what was I gonna say? But then, so you did FALA Chop. Did you ever do a MasterChef, or was that after you left?
Yes, I did. MasterChef was final senior year, final video I did for the channel, and I am very happy with that. But that was more. I reflect more on like the earlier stuff in you know, my FALA Upload career. Yeah. Because, you know, for my level of like what I was trying to do, I'm really proud with what I was able to put out with what I was working with, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get that.
But,
just with the stuff you had, yeah.
Because, you know, by the time we shot that video, you know, I had been in media production for 2 years. So, you know, we didn't know what we were doing, but we had an idea of like, okay, this is how we light things, this is how we record audio. Yeah. That type of stuff.
It's interesting. My introduction, well, like the first thing that like gave me a shot of being in the media upload was MasterChef. Yeah. And I got inducted. So basically, last year in like 3B, I took a yoga class because it gave me a dance credit, and I was like, yeah, hell yeah, free dance credit.
That's an option? But that wasn't an option.
No, it was an option only for that year. And I took it, and I got a dance credit, and we were doing a yoga nidra, which is where you lay down and like do like a closed eyes meditation. Yeah. And I'm like in like my meditative state. I'm feeling good. That was my favorite class, and I just hear like Wesley like being whispered, and I look over and it's Simon and Elizabeth Briggs and just peeking their heads in the dance room, and they drag me out. The teacher doesn't know I've left
Yeah.
because they're on the ground with their eyes closed as
Yeah.
well, and they're like, "Hey, do you know how to use a camera?" And I'm like, "Yeah, okay." And they're like, "Yeah, we're doing MasterChef in 2 weeks. Come." And I'm like, "Okay, sure, whatever." But then what was really funny is I'm gonna call Simon out on this. Well, I'm not gonna call Simon out on this, but they overbooked it. Where basically they brought in me to film in case a member of actual media production didn't
Yeah.
show up, and they showed up. So it was both of us, and what we do is we take turns holding the camera. And it was funny because I could have let him do the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like he's a member of the thing. He's
Yeah.
gonna get a grade for this, but I'm like, this is my one shot of getting credit. I might be able to get in media production next year. Give me the camera.
Yeah.
And then now we're here.
No, that's so funny because that was Kelly's thought process too. He was like,
Yeah.
okay, I just need to get in there, help out, and then I got a shot next year.
Yeah. Which is
Oh, how the candle gets passed or
Mhm.
the torch. You know what I mean.
yeah. Now that you've like kind of moved on, like has there been like, I don't know how it was, but has there been like almost like a creative itch since you've moved on to like go and try to make another thing, or like go ahead and be like not even like I want to go and make, but even like, God, if it'd be cool if I was like back in music, I could do this, or like does
Yeah.
that thought ever go through your head?
I for sure miss the days of, having fun filming media production stuff. But, I don't have the same itch to film and do that whole thing anymore. I mean, life's just taken me on a different journey.
Yeah.
The person you should talk to, like Gabby, is a film student. Like she's fully on that path, so she'd be better to talk to about that. But I still do I still do a little bit of video now and then. I'm basically the with all my college friends, I'm basically like the camera person. Like
Oh, nice.
I'm always the one taking videos.
That's
of all the
That's
moments.
half me half the time, and half my friend Brody, who's on the last News and Improve thing, but he's on yearbook. And he brings a
Yeah.
camera everywhere for yearbook stuff. And what's really funny is, I'm going off topic, we were doing Halloween for student
Yeah, yeah.
council, and I had to go make a supply run to like a
Yeah.
store to get stuff,
Yeah.
and I dragged him with me, so there's yearbook photos of me holding like pudding in a Safeway.
Wait, like in the yearbook?
I hope it makes it in
Oh,
there.
yes.
But if that goes in, that would be amazing. But I'm kind of the same thing, purely because I didn't take photography until this year.
Yeah.
But last year I was in film production, which was also kind of my guy was like, hey, can I do this? I was in film production for like 2 years, and like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But the teacher was doing a photography trip, and they needed people because not enough people signed up. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. And right before I bought a Polaroid camera.
Yeah.
And now I kind of just run around with Polaroids, and I have like 5 It's gone to like some weird obsessive thing where it's like I bring it everywhere,
Yeah.
and I have like I have 5 Polaroids of people sleeping, and just that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's always fun.
No, I don't. I'm just recording on the phone and then capture those moments that way. And then my one not film thing, but my one video thing that I do every year is I make like a video recap of all the crazy moments that
Ooh,
yeah
that's fun.
that I'm not gonna share because it's not high school appropriate. Have fun in college, everyone.
I'm gonna share mine, but it's also not high school because I did that for an English project.
Yeah.
Where basically we had to do a project on George Orwell's 1984.
Yep.
And my idea was, or like my weird vision for the thing was like, oh, it's gonna be someone trying to watch a video, and then like Big Brother's gonna come on their monitor screen, and they're gonna be silent, have to run away from the camera.
Yeah.
So in preparation, I made a recap video of the whole year.
Yeah.
Because that was also kind of part of the assignment.
Yeah.
For some reason, and there's some whack stuff for me to submit to like English class. Like there's me sledding down a hill shirtless for like a split second, and that's part of my English project now. And just stuff like that. I don't know, it's fun. So obviously this is like a school appropriate channel.
Yeah.
And it's always kind of been that way.
Yeah.
But like what's like, without getting explicit, what's kind of like something you've tried to like kind of sneak in that's almost like adult humor, kind of like trying to like do a gag?
So, I mean, this is different, but I have not live streamed, but the one actual video curse word on the channel.
That's like still that made it into like the final cut.
Made it into the final cut.
Was it bleeped?
No,
Oh.
it's just me saying it. Yeah. No, I can't say it, but I say the S word.
Oh.
Yeah. No, but it was in it's in a funny video. It's a recap of one of the like theater productions that we did, and so much happened behind the scenes, and it was like a big, pun intended, S word show.
Yeah.
But so there's a bunch of behind the scenes footage, and I don't know what's happening, so I let out a
Yeah.
what's going on type of thing, and it made it into the final cut. I didn't edit it.
Oh.
Gabby edited it. So I was watching, like, it showed up in my inbox. I watch it, and here I am saying a curse word on the channel.
That's like kind of a flex though.
I'm not happy about it, but I'm happy about it.
No. So I have a big issue with like language.
Yeah.
Where in most of the shows they don't give me a microphone. Because
Wait, see. Okay.
Okay, so do you still watch the FALA Upload?
Yeah.
So you know News and Improve,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
There's a reason why when I'm doing transitions I don't speak. It is purely for that reason. Because there have been like... Because like even like there was a time I was spinning the board and I dropped it and I was just believe and I'm just it's actually terrifying.
Yeah.
And honestly, one of my friends didn't join media production because they were terrified that they were gonna curse.
Yeah.
And that's just become such a big thing. Because even like, I don't know, English class and media journalism is like one of the classes where it's like almost the only class I know if I was like, hey, don't curse.
Yeah.
Compared to like, I have films from film class.
Yeah.
Where you're just openly saying every word. And I don't know, it's fun trying to like get the adult humor. Because it's kind of like something that happened like, when you're like a kid and you're watching like Cars, for example.
Yeah.
And then you rewatch like 10 years later and you're like, hold up. And it's fun to kind of try to like recreate that.
No, I rewatched The Incredibles recently.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's fun kind of trying to do that. Obviously like, that's not the main goal when you're making like these videos. But that's kind of like a fun thing to like kind of try to do.
No, this isn't one of the best ones was for the Project Runway, parody that we did. Two of our contestants were kind of themed around communism.
Oh, okay.
And so that's like probably the most adult thing that we've got in there. Other than, the one curse, but...
Yeah, who cares about that? Alright, we're going to a tiny special segment that is going to include a special guest. This is the nepotism segment. So, I'm going to bring in Simon. Just come in like, I don't know, you want to share my chair?
Hey, gang.
Come on.
Also,
Yeah. Okay, so...
You see the resemblance?
Okay,
It's crazy.
The thumbnail. Cool. So, obviously, your first cameo in the FALA Upload was you were kind of almost holding the camera for one of Noah's videos.
Yeah, I think it was like the second llama show or something.
Yeah.
Totally.
Second llama show, I was filming, one of the weird little characters that I was visiting to try and fix it. The Vibe Master. Oh, God. But, yeah, I was just filming in my room, and, I didn't have a tripod, I didn't have anything, so someone needed to step in.
I was the first tripod of the channel.
I'm putting that in as your official title. Please edit.
Yes!
That's so good. And then, obviously, your exposing to this whole thing came from Noah, and it's like... And then you've now been in media production longer than Noah was in media production, obviously, because you've been...
I think I've definitely been in media production the longest out of anyone, I'm pretty sure.
And
Okay, flex real.
what was your outside perspective of media production watching Noah make like these videos and stuff before you actually ended up joining media production?
I didn't get... I obviously, like, filmed a little bit, but I watched the videos and it just seemed like fun. Like it just seemed like a good time, and I was like, dang, like that's what I want out of like my high school experience.
Yeah.
You know? And I feel bad. You were mentioning about like the 12, 13 people during like 2020. I joined like halfway through the year.
Yeah.
And so it was like 11 and then I joined and it was 12.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny because one of the reasons that I joined media production was, one, it just looked fun, but also no one asked me not to.
Yeah, I
Wait,
did
what?
do that.
Yeah.
I did do that.
Yeah.
No, I was so overwhelmed that year because like I was overwhelmed that year, and you know I tried to ask a favor, but no.
It definitely like encouraged me to join. So
That's so. Wow, you guys are such good siblings.
You know what? I am happy to join though.
Yeah.
yeah. It's been fun.
You get
Yeah.
the official Noah seal of approval.
Yay!
Thing. And speaking of nepotism, you've kind of continued MasterChef, and that's kind of been
Oh, yeah.
your whole big thing.
MasterChef kind of was my thing. Like
Uh-huh.
I kind of pitched the idea
Yeah.
that year. I was like, we did Chopped, but what if we do MasterChef as like kind of like a more because I think we were trying to think of like one last Kelly show.
Yeah.
And I was like, MasterChef Junior, but it's senior, and we have the seniors compete.
Yeah.
And
And
so-
you basically like you did a lot of the work for that. 'Cause
Yeah.
You put together all of the like food for
Yeah.
it and
Yeah, I made the recipes. We did have Henry host just because Henry was the host.
yeah.
But yeah, that was fun, and now it's kind of like my child. So
Similar to your brother, did you ever like want to be like a YouTuber?
oh yeah,
When you were little?
oh yeah.
All right, what was
I
it?
I filmed. Oopsies.
We're good.
I definitely filmed a few like videos like in the backyard with my friend. I remember specifically, I uploaded it. It's somewhere on the internet, but it's a you know when like Eat It or Wear It's were really big. I did one of those and I filmed it on my iPad. And it's somewhere on the internet, and I really hope no one ever finds it.
Well, I know the channel name.
No,
I
you
know that.
don't.
Yeah.
There's no shot.
Top right corner of the video right now.
You really don't remember what the channel name was?
No.
Popular Pandas.
I do, because I was a huge Popular MMOs fan.
Yeah.
Uh,
How the
but yeah, and then I do remember that actually.
And then you know the other funny thing about that
No.
is you were young enough that you didn't have your own email, so you used Mom's. And and the funny thing about that was Mom because of Mom's business, you changed one of her business emails.
I think I
crazy.
slightly remember that.
Yeah.
That's
I
funny.
might have tried to block it out.
Yeah.
So, you wanting to you guys want to you said your first video was like in the backyard with your friends. Do you kind of remember something about that? Can you maybe do a little elaboration, or is it too cringe?
It was pretty cringe. I was probably like 7. Like I was really young, and I remember setting it up on our little deck, and we kind of just like looked in our fridge and we grabbed some stuff. I forget who the friend was. I feel like it was Rhea. Shout out Rhea. But I don't quite remember, and like I remember we filmed it. We were having a good time, and then I get up to check it, and I realized it had stopped filming like 20 minutes ago because the storage was full.
Oh.
But I still uploaded it, and it was just the raw video. Like I didn't edit it. I didn't add any music. I was just like, this is gonna get so many views.
Okay.
This is gonna be a hit, and yeah.
All right.
Well, you know, I thought I don't even remember what age you were, but you were young enough that it's just for the fun of it.
Yeah, I also remember the reason I was able to get a YouTube channel was because my mom made me promise that I would upload like violin videos to it of me playing the violin. So
and you never did that, did
I
you?
never did. I uploaded that one video, and that's all.
The dream died.
Yeah.
Did you make videos before FALA Upload?
No.
Excluding, or you made the school projects.
Yeah, I made school projects.
But
I wish I still had those, because those were very funny. But no,
What's your fondest memory of like a school project, like video before media production that you did? Let's hear it. Come on.
Okay, so this was for biology class, I think. But I had to do a presentation on, I think, like, different diets and what diets would do for you. No, wait, hold on. I'm gonna need to remember real quick.
All right. So what happens, I'm going to explain my first kind of video things. So there was this thing on your iPhone called Action Movie FX. And basically you could record a video and then you could go into Action Movie FX. And do you guys know that meme where it's like a video of something and then like just like a giant boulder falls on like the screen?
Yeah.
That's from that app, and it's just a bunch, it's a bunch of things like that.
Yeah.
There was like a boulder crushing like the ground. They were kind of successful and they had collaborations for like Call of Duty. So there was like guided missile strikes you could like put on your videos.
Yeah.
And okay, I remember one time there was this thing where it was a giant spider, and it would like jump on the ground and then like attack the camera and like make it black out as like an effect. And I recorded that and on my mom's phone, and like I went to like the export page, because you know like all the ones like the bad ones have like those little extras like, oh, you can put it on like any site, and Facebook popped up. I was like, oh, my mom has Facebook, right? So I clicked on Facebook and I uploaded it, and I put the caption as if my mom posted it. I put the caption as, oh, look what Wesley made. And it's just a video of just our car in the drive being crushed by a spider. And then there was another one where it was like superpowers, where you could like summon like a firebolt out of your hands on like post-processing. And me and my friends, we made like an iMovie thing, and we called it like the epic battle or something, you know?
That's so good.
And it's like, and then we just fight each other. And then we uploaded one of those on YouTube on September 29th, 2016. I believe that was the date. So
that's
I was like,
crazy that you remember that.
I'm very close. I'm finding this right now while I talk.
Can I go back?
Yeah, you can go back.
Okay.
Thank you for coming. Round of applause for Simon. Yeah. No, and then that kind of made me. Okay, I don't have Wi-Fi. But then that kind of made me like, oh, that was fun, and that now people see this. Oh, YouTuber time, and that's what kind of started that for me. And then, do you remember your school project yet? Or no?
Yeah.
All right.
No. So, it was essentially like, you've got to explain the difference between like foods that give you energy for long amount of times, or like energy in bursts. So like, you know, eating grains and like actual like meals, and instead of just like candy. So what we had my friend do is we put him in a fat suit and had him run around for varied amount of times, whether or not he was eating like real food or like candy. And so, you know, there's, you know, at my old friend's house, like, just video of him running around in a fat suit. Yeah. Well, the fat suit was really just a pillow shoved under his shirt.
Okay. It's just like, that's pretty genius. The only like, so for English, so I have like a tiny bit of a video background, which is kind of why I want to do this show, why I like media production.
Yeah.
But for almost every final project, I do a video.
Yeah. And
I tried in the English ones, and I'm for like freshman year, I made a stop motion movie trailer for Lord of the Flies.
Yo, that's sick.
But and then for Spanish class, oh my god, it was so bad. So we had to do like a video presentation, and me and all my friends, we hopped in a Discord call, and I screen recorded the Discord call with OBS, and we did a Spanish part of us reciting lines of like 5 things you need for a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
And one of my friends was like, eat salad, and he ate a bag of expired lettuce on camera. And my friend was like, do cardio, and he just like did jumping jacks in his bedroom for 5 seconds. And one of the things, because I was trying to be like a little funny guy, one of my things for Spanish was don't drink bleach, and it was like no debes blanqueador. And for the shot, I was planning on dumping out a bottle of bleach and filling with water and just chugging it for the shot. And I didn't empty it out that well. So in the video, you can see it's gonna be shown on the podcast. I'm putting a clip of it, but you can see my face drinking like the bleach, and it tastes like water, and then you see like my face just like for a second. So I might have drinking bleach for a video.
Hey, that's commitment.
A major commitment. And then for our second year Spanish final, I did a cooking show, or no, I did like a binging with Babish cooking tutorial of carne asada tacos, and it took me 12 hours because we go to my house. And, like, my mom's half Mexican, so normally we have, like, kind of stuff to make this. And we didn't have anything, nor vehicles. So me and my friend biked from my house to a Bash's and went just cleared out Bash's and came back and filmed stuff. And then I edited it and put it out, like, the next day. And, just the stuff I've done for, like, I don't know. What's, like...
No, my favorite filming, like, taking way too long filming things was my friend... Sasha needed to do, I forget what project it was for, but it was for like a Mr. Cassidy English project. And he stayed up the entire night writing, filming, and editing a conversation between 3 people, all of whom were himself.
Whoa.
So
what's like the biggest like
I know the exact project. It was Macbeth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Cassidy mentioned that in our class. He was like, shout out Sasha.
Yeah.
He made a therapist conversation. It was
That's
like
right,
marriage
that's it.
count. Okay, that's all.
Okay, cool. Well, what's like the biggest like either time-consuming thing you did for a video or for media production, or like just the biggest like stunt or sacrifice you had to make for a video?
Probably the amount of time was filming the Egos. Because, I mean, you know, it was fine because it was COVID and I was not doing anything better with my time.
Yeah.
But I probably spent, over the course of all of, like, the 2 videos that I spent stacking up waffles, I probably spent, like, 10 or 12 hours stacking Egos.
And that's all like recorded?
Yep. I did so much like...
What did you record it on? Like your phone? Did you have like a phone or did you like, have a camera?
Yeah, I used my phone and then just the time-lapse thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then anytime I would get close to the record, I would stop the time-lapse and actually, like, record a video on my phone.
Wow, that is dedication. Have you ever done, like, any, like, really dumb stunts or, like, eaten anything stupid or, like, hurt yourself for a video? Not like self-harm, but, like, just hurting yourself.
I don't think so. Cassidy has really taken most of the
Yeah.
brunt. Yeah.
I want to talk to him about those stunts when I have him on. That's going to be so good. I remember in one of my really old videos, I sprinted through the forest clothless for a shot. Because it was me and my friend when we were trying to do like a Nerf War video.
Yeah.
Because we like watched like a lot of those type videos. We're like, we have Nerf guns.
Yeah.
And we did a thing where it was supposed to be like a giant battle, but it was us two, and we just like played every character of like this 10-man battle. And there's this whole thing where like I get shot in the chest, and my friend is like standing over me. He's like, "Oh, he needs help. Send a medic." And we're like, "Hey, as an Easter egg, should I take off my clothes and run through the forest?" And
what an Easter egg.
and we didn't have a tripod either, so it was my friend like selfie sticking him, yelling like. Because he's supposed to be, like, standing over him. He's like, he needs help, send a medic. And you hear me going, ah! Sprinting through the forest clothless behind him for a shot. And that's one of the big, probably, sacrifices I've had to make. We'll probably wrap it up. What do you think was, like, what advice would you give to someone joining media production? Because I feel like the reason I made this podcast is to kind of show behind the scenes. Because I feel like there's kind of some unrealistic standards that kind of go into this, or like what's advice you'd give to like either us or like somebody who's thinking of joining media production, or just like some thing of like what do you think it's going to be versus how it might be, or like what should you do?
I mean, my biggest piece of advice is if you have an interest, you have the ability. Like there's no minimum like skill requirement to be in this class.
Yeah.
Like as long as you have an interest and want to make videos, go for it. Do it. Do not think that there's any skill involved in this process.
Yeah.
But and then, you know, the other piece of advice is really as simple as it can get, and that's just have fun with it.
Yeah.
Like as long as you're like the main thing is do what you want to do.
All right, cool. Well, thank you, Noah, for being
Yeah.
on the premiere episode of Uploading, the behind-the-scenes podcast of the FALA Upload, covering videos, the personalities in the videos, and the process of the videos. Thank you so much for watching. You're probably gonna be like back in Washington when this comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next time. Adios.